Alright, so let's wrap up freeing Trypticon. This is the first mission in this game so far in this LP to be 3 parts long or more. So we'll be putting a stop to that now. This will be the final part of this mission, and I don't think any of the other missions will have more than 2 parts to them. But, we're going to clear out the area here and release all the little electric coil things from Trypticon's head. And then we're going to call in Soundwave to do his hacking shenanigans that he does so well for some reason. This is pretty much the closest thing to the fight in the previous game, where we tried to resurrect Omega Supreme and using Ratchet to hack it. So it's almost like the roles have been reversed here. But this encounter is designed much better, though. So we have a bunch of Autobots over here. They're going to come dropping in. And we have defensive turrets over here that I think are automatic. And we have plenty of quick use items that are randomly spawning throughout the map, including we got the diffraction barrier, we have the intercooler, and I think we have energon rechargers as well, which give you enhanced speed and regeneration abilities respectively. I love that those things bounce off grenades too. That's really nice. But there's also a thermomine payload over here. We're going to pick that up. And we're going to pay close attention to Trypticon's energy level there as it's regenerating. You want to be moving fast when you deploy the thermomine so you can get them all to be decently spread out. I mean, they're going to seek out the enemies from a pretty decent distance away, unlike in the previous game. But, well, actually, they were pretty good about that in the previous game as well, but now they're even better. So, we're shotgunners here, and they're not going to be able to withstand the X-18 Scrapmaker plus that turret there. I don't think that those turrets are all that good, but you know, they're nice to have another distraction from your from you. What I want to know is, what do we do to these turrets to make them actually shoot at the Autobots? Because they look like they're Autobot turrets, so I don't really get it. But basically, my strategy for this is just, you know, keep using the fusion cannon, and then occasionally use the hover ability and rain down hell on them with the X-18 Scrapmaker. And then if you can, use the hover slam before you land. So you want to pace yourself that way, not go too crazy. And remember, these quick use items are going to keep spawning up here, so you want to keep picking them up, keep using the diffraction barriers. They're not that useful, really. I mean, they're just going to put a wall between you and the enemies, but anything that can, like, defend you against an otherwise really powerful shot like a rocket or a shotgun blast, or bounce off one of those grenades, is nice to have. I mean, they're free, they're just lying around the environment, so by all means pick them up. Here I was saying, oh, that's nice. You can shoot through the diffraction barrier from the other side. That is actually really nice. I did not know that until just now. So that actually, I'm staying corrected, that makes it a lot better than I said it was. If you can shoot through it and they can't hit you, then the diffraction barrier is actually really good. So yeah, I'll definitely be using that more often. Yeah, these guys are just helpless. I know the X-18 Scrapmaker is not a very Megatron-ish weapon, but it is one of my favorite weapons in the game, so I figured it's effective enough for this encounter. Let me not forget to use my alt mode here, because it's very powerful as usual. I remember thinking in the previous game when I first used the tank mode that I could easily just sort of perch myself somewhere and hit any enemy from any distance on the map, but the tank cannon in the previous game is a lot more inaccurate than it should have been. It still had a decent amount of splash damage, but it was pretty inaccurate. And I got used to it eventually, where I could hit enemies pretty decently with it. Oh, come on. The grenade had to go under the shield. And now we're completely out of ammo. That doesn't happen often. But luckily there's another ammo pack right over there. Basically, the only thing you're trying to protect here is Soundwave. Soundwave is not really able to take damage, but if he's under attack by enemies, then it'll slow down his process of reviving Trypticon, so his energon level will not progress any higher. So that's what'll happen essentially. That's why you want to keep enemies away from him, so it will continue to progress, because it'll stop if it doesn't. Well, that being said, he seems like he's perfectly okay, and the thing is not progressing any farther. I wonder if it's glitched. That is the LP curse, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as you start recording, the game just breaks. Come on, man. It's a hold up. Oh, see? It just like spontaneously reaches full all of a sudden.
Soundwave, report. Trypticon remains in deep stasis. Power core at 63% integrity. Catalytic overdrive generator is severely damaged. Estimating repair time. No, there will be no repairs. Trypticon, if you can hear me, understand this is not a rescue mission. Despite your great power, you failed to destroy the Autobots. You failed me. Henceforth, your chassis will be altered and redesigned to my specifications. Megatron, in his damaged state, Trypticon's alternate form will become permanent. All the better. Soundwave, initiate the Nemesis protocol.
Yeah, you can tell where this is going. Pretty sure that's not how it happened in Generation 1, but I think that's irrelevant at this point. So that's the end of that mission. Like I said, it was long enough to where I didn't want to put that last section in the previous video, but not quite long enough to where that'll be the entirety of that video. So I figured I'd go ahead and start on the next mission here. Here we are at Shockwave's tower, and looks like he's got quite a few guards up here.
Someone's trying to hack Shockwave's data logs. Yes, sir. Go check out the main server. Make sure it's still secure. I'll lock down the main entrance. What are you waiting for? Move!
Okay, so we're playing as random Decepticon Grunt, apparently. And he has no weapons and no ability to do anything, essentially, except for move the camera, and the camera has a flashlight on it, so that's about it. I think both of these guys are voiced by Liam O'Brien as well. A lot of the cast was repurposed for the incidental NPCs. Well, this guy, in this case, would not be an NPC, because he's a playable character, apparently. Who's that? There are no cloakers in this game.
Hey, you hear about Starscream? That idiot finally got what was coming to him. Do tell. Whoa! Who's there? Starscream? Hey! What are you doing here?
I hear this is where all the idiots hang out.
Yes, let's kill the character we were just playing as.
There. According to these data logs, Shockwave's latest experiment is in the central tower.
Alrighty guys, you guessed it, time to play as Starscream! This is probably one of my favorite missions in the game, just because it's frickin' Starscream and he's awesome in this game. For some reason, Starscream always becomes awesome when he completely betrays the Decepticons. I think there's an audio diagram here that I already got, but Starscream's mission is actually going to be a primarily stealth mission, so he's going to have the same characteristics as Cliffjumper, where he auto-crouches around enemies, and then instead of assassinating him with his sword that he clearly has, he just plants the jetpack right on their face. It takes a certain level of cruelty to do such things, but we're going to go over here and cloak our way to go place a bomb! Place the bomb! Well, that was annoying. we're supposed to place the thermo jetpack on this security terminal here so it will blow up, and they won't be able to set off the alarm. And if they set off the alarm, then several sentries will pop up, and we'll get a bunch of turrets coming against us, and every enemy in the area will go completely apeshit. But luckily we avoided that. I like that Starscream's sword shows up multiple times in this to sort of give it that it's the signature weapon there. That is an area back there where there's an audio diary and there's some extra energon there we picked up. So as you guessed it, Starscream is his typical jet, and we have complete freedom of this level. This is a massive level around Shockwave's tower, and it looks really cool. And Starscream's jet mode also has some really powerful weapons. He still has the two weapons, when we go ahead and switch weapons here. He starts out with the scatter blaster, which is nice, but we need a heavy weapon as well. So we're gonna go ahead and pick up, what do we want? Get the rocket launcher. I'm gonna switch over to the sniper rifle eventually, so he can have his signature null ray cannon, which it's not called anymore. So Starscream is powerful enough to where we can do this mission all guns blazing and just go in there and just you know, salvo the crap out of these guys with the rockets from his jet mode, because they launch in a cluster now. They're not just like 2 rockets at a time. But I prefer to go this stealthily because he has the cloaking, so which is one thing I wish he would have had in the previous game, is he had the cloaking and the sniper rifle at the same time. I commented on that in the mission where we get to play as Starscream, but no, I think it was Skywarp that had the cloaking in the previous game. And I'd still to this day have not played that second mission as Skywarp. I need to do that eventually. Now, you're going to see me, I'm looking for a certain Easter egg that's around here on the outskirts of one of these towers. It's like towards the edge of the map. It's a very specific thing that I'm looking for, but I've never actually found it before, so this is not probably the best time to be looking for it. But like I said, you can do this mission all guns blazing if you want to. It's not hard, but some of these encounters are designed to be a bit unfair. Crap, I'm running out of cloaking. I think I can still get this one though. They're onto me, but I should be able to clear my way around here. There's the incendiary effect on the scatter blaster there. Wait for my camo to recharge. Nice thing about it is if you cloak and then transform, you'll stay cloaked in your alt mode. That's the same trait that's been kept from the previous game. You can't cloak in your alt mode, and you can't decloak in your alt mode, but you can engage the cloaking and then transform. Yeah, that went pretty much flawlessly. We're almost done here. And there's as it showed earlier with the whole 1 of 5 sentries thing, you get an achievement for disabling 5 of those, so that's nice and everything. Oh, for God's sake, where is that thing? I don't know, but basically what I'm looking for is a room on the very edge of the map in one direction or another where you pop out and you pick up Starscream's crown there, and he wears it for the rest of the level. I would have really liked to have shown that off for this LP, but let's see. I think this is the thing with the Teletrain 1 in it. Yep. Or nope. It's got some weapon caches. But being such a, I like that Starscream betrays the Decepticons in this game, and goes on his own agenda to fight. Yeah, there we go. That was pretty cool. You have all those guys cluster together and then just blow them away with the rockets. These guys are actually really weak too, so these rockets are very powerful against them, especially because it fires them in a cluster instead of just one at a time. One would probably be enough to kill one of these individual enemies. So, like I said, we're pretty powerful with Starscream, but we don't really need to be, is the thing. We're probably, I know I said Vortex is really powerful, but we're probably as powerful as him, if not slightly more. Anyway, we're going to GTFO there because we accidentally set off one of those turrets. Like I said, we didn't want to, and we almost died. So Starscream is going to be a coward, as he typically is, and he's going to flee. But I like how much there's a bunch of other... where are all these rockets coming from? There's Autobot aerial bots following us now that we've... actually, no, they're not Autobots. They're Decepticon Seekers. What am I saying? Because we're still fighting Decepticons. So yeah, here's a dogfight with the Seekers, which is really intense in this game compared to the previous one. There's rockets flying all over the place and all this other stuff, and I think they can still hit you with the sticky bombs as well, but just not at this particular part, because you have to transform in midair to get them to knock off. But they're just too fast, so I'm not going to bother to fight them. I could probably get a lock on them with my rockets. See, now they're going to try to do it, but it's just not worth it to me. I'm just going to say GTFO. But Yeah, fighting those guys is actually pretty cool right here. But like I said, I like how many of the other Starscream incarnations from the other Transformers series are relevant to this Starscream, because like choosing Sam Riegel to do his voice makes for a good balance of like the G1 Starscream versus the Unicron trilogy Starscream, and I think it's really nice. And then he's got his aesthetic is still very G1 in his robot mode, but he also looks a lot like Cybertron Starscream in his alt mode because of the way his tail fins sort of flip up like that.
I assure you, the tests were done as you instructed. We shall see, Sharpshot.
Shockwave's hiding something big down here, I know it. But then I see when he's like this, the fins are split apart, but when you use the boost and he deploys his wings, they fold up like that. It kind of reminds me of Cybertron Starscream. And then his whole treachery thing, and the fact that he uses a sword that is very iconic in design, and you see it lying around in places throughout the game, reminds me very much of Armada Starscream, who was probably Armada's best character just because he was much more well developed